Hey everyone, my name is Zach if you don't know me. I haven't posted a video in a while. I handle most of the business side stuff of Media Cows. It's been a long time, but today is the first day of E3, which means there were 4 press conferences. If you're subscribed, you notice that we posted around like 60 videos today. Yeah, we've been working all day, all 4 of us, uploading like everything that the press conferences had to offer. If you're not aware, there were 4 press conferences. Microsoft, there was EA, there was Ubisoft, and there was Sony. And I'm really tired, so what they wanted me to do here was give you like the top 20 or so videos, so the top 5 from each conference, and then I'd be like dodging the annotations as Dewey puts them up there. But it's a long day, a lot of editing, and I don't really feel like dodging. So let's get started though. Let's talk about Microsoft. That was the first press conference, and if there's any cuts, it's not because I'm dumb. I know what happened during the press conferences, I know these games, it's just there's lights and a lot of stuff happened today, so I might have to look at the screen for my top 5 picks of each press conferences. The first thing though is Metal Gear Solid 5. There was an awesome Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer and almost gameplay demo. I'm not exactly sure if it was real gameplay or like scripted cutscenes that were made to look like gameplay. Anyways, Metal Gear Solid 5 is going open world and there's an awesome gameplay thing that you should check out if you haven't already. Microsoft's not all bad. They had a decent press conference, and I know it's very popular to hate on Microsoft because Sony had an amazing console showing, kind of. They didn't really show the console back in February, and so Sony got on the good side, and then Microsoft did the whole used game debacle thing, the always-on stuff, and so they had a lot to prove. They also showed off Killer Instinct, which is a revival of a Rare game, a classic Rare game, and Raymond almost cried. To be honest, he was laughing hysterically and kind of tearing up, and you should go check it out. I know Raymond would want you to. I think my personal favorite, though, of the Microsoft press conferences was Dead Rising 3. It's not something that I expected, but they showed a gameplay demo of it. And again, I think it was gameplay. I have no reason, I guess, to believe that it wasn't. It looked like gameplay, and there were a ton of zombies. And as someone who played the previous Dead Rising games, it seems like it's a shift in tone, but it looked like it would be a lot of fun, and I want to play that game, so go check out that one. There's also a couple EA games here, so this is going to be some sort of crossover between the EA press conference, which I'm going to talk about next. There was Titanfall, which is the Respawn Entertainment's next game, which is, you know, the people who made Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4, the former guys at Infinity Ward before they left. This is their new game, Titanfall. There's a lot of mech action, and it's our first glimpse at anything about this game. There's a lot of mechs. And Raymond bashed Hawken while we were watching it. He said Hawken's got nothing on this. Tom defended Hawken a little bit, but go check it out, see for yourself. Also, Battlefield 4 was on display, and it was revealed that Xbox One owners are going to get first access to the DLC, which is similar to the Call of Duty situation. I didn't really expect that, because I was actually kind of hoping that Sony would get some sort of similar deal, maybe, if there was going to be a deal struck at all for Battlefield. But the demo looked impressive. Dewey wanted to see it on PC, so we're looking forward to it at EA, which you can also check out. But I would recommend checking out the Battlefield 4 demo that was shown off at Xbox One. Also, the last thing is Halo 5. It's not officially Halo 5, but it is a Halo game in 2014. And there was very little shown about it. It's less than a minute, I think. It was made to kind of look like Destiny, and then a surprise happened, so go watch that out. That was really fun to watch. Overall, I thought that the Microsoft press conference was actually really, really good, and that might not be a popular thing to say, but they showed off a lot of really cool games, and I was impressed. I'm not impressed with the $500 price tag, but we'll probably do videos talking about, I guess, our opinions, or if we want to grade the press conferences later. Let's go into EA, which was my favorite press conference of the day, because there's a few games in here that they were announced, and I teared up. First, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. It looks freaking awesome. If you've watched any of Orcs and Men 2 between Tom and Raymond, this is Plants vs. Zombies looking like of Orcs and Men, and when we actually got a chance to look at the gameplay, like the trailer was really cool, but the gameplay looks like complete fun. We were all giggling while watching it, so make sure you go check that out. Then for me, a game that I've been waiting for since 2005, 2006, Battlefront. I spent much of my childhood playing Star Wars Battlefront, and Dewey hasn't played it. But Raymond, Tom, and I have, and this actually inspired us that we're going to start playing Battlefront and probably put up some gameplay videos on the channel, like the first one. We don't know very much about this at all. All we know is it's in development. We don't know that it's Battlefront 3 or if it's just going to be called Star Wars Battlefront, but we know it exists. And I was yelling and screaming. It's very, very short teaser. Go check it out. It's really, really cool. Again, touching on Titanfall, the Respawn game, and Battlefield 4, these were also shown off at the EA press conference, of course. And they were cool, again, so same sort of thing, go check those out. Also, Dragon Age Inquisition, or as some people are calling it, Dragon Age 3. So I love Dragon Age Origins, wasn't as big of a fan of Dragon Age 2. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I like the Dragon Age lore, so go check that out. There's not much again shown for that game, but it's something that I'm excited for. Then there is for me a game that I go back and I listen to the song Still Alive, which I might be bashed for it, but this Still Alive I prefer to the Still Alive from Portal. It's a game that I go back and I watch, and it reminds me why I love games. And that game's Mirror's Edge. And Mirror's Edge 2 is a game that I've wanted for a long time and didn't really think that I was going to get because Mirror's Edge 1 didn't sell that well. There were flaws with it, but when I look at Mirror's Edge 1, it represents something that it's just like the epitome of what I love about gaming. And after I was shown Battlefront, I don't know why I'm looking at my computer, I said, I'm gonna cry if EA gives me Mirror's Edge 2. And they did. At the very end of the conference. Watch it. It's, again, not much is shown and we don't have a release date at all. It's just when it's done, when they're ready to release it. But I have to calm myself because I'm so excited for a Mirror's Edge 2. You guys have no idea. And that's for me why EA won. It's not bashing, so I think this is perhaps one of the best E3s that I've watched. I really liked all conferences. I thought Ubisoft was the weakest, but EA delivering Battlefront and Mirror's Edge 2. Actually, it's not even confirmed that it's Mirror's Edge 2. Some people are calling it a reboot. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't have an official title that I'm aware of. But we'll see. Doesn't matter. It's Mirror's Edge. And that's why EA won it for me. On to Ubisoft, which, like I said, is the weakest one. So there was Assassin's Creed 4, of course. Assassin's Creed is something that I obsessed over. I run the channel Fusion Cap, and it's like the most popular Assassin's Creed 3 walkthrough on YouTube. It has like 4 million views. I obsessed over that game. I haven't paid as much attention to Assassin's Creed 4, but it's naval stuff, and I love that stuff in Assassin's Creed 3. The cinematic trailer, is something that you should go check out for that game. Also, everyone's like favorite game to talk about with Ubisoft these days is Watch Dogs. There was a new trailer released for Watch Dogs. We actually had it up a little bit early. You should go check it out. It's pretty cool. It's of course a cinematic trailer, so you're just gonna watch it to enjoy it and get kind of a theme of the game. But it's a good watch. There's also this game called The Mighty Quest of Epic Loot, and I'm not exactly sure completely what it is because the gameplay didn't strike a fancy with me. I guess it seemed like a lot like Torchlight to me, but the trailer was really freaking hilarious, so I'd suggest watching that as well. Keeping up with the theme of new games that aren't talked about that much, they announced something called The Crew, which is a racing game that looks really, really cool. They went on for a while with it, but we have a trailer up for it. The trailer's really good looking. There's also a really long demo. They demoed it for like 10 minutes, which was kind of confusing, I guess, because I feel like people would have preferred to see Assassin's Creed, but it looks like a cool game. Another problem with it was the stream wasn't the best quality, so I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I suggest watching the trailer. And so the last thing that I want to talk about that was shown at the Ubisoft press conference is a game called The Division, and it is a third-person shooter, RPG, open-world game that was just announced. It's from Ubisoft Massive, and it looks really good. I feel like it was like kind of purposed as this E3's Watch Dogs, because if you remember last E3, Ubisoft blew it away. I thought Ubisoft won last year, hands down, but they showed Watch Dogs at the end, a glimpse of the future, and they did something similar, I think, with The Division, and it looks like a really awesome game that would be a ton of fun to play with friends. And so then on to the last press conference, Sony's press conference, a press conference that I think was most anticipated because we have no idea what the PlayStation 4 looks like. what it's going to come in at price, when it's going to be released. We haven't seen any of that. We've seen the controller and we've seen games for it, and we were finally going to get to see it. And so I suggest watching the video showing what the PlayStation 4 looks like, the details, its release date, its price, that kind of thing. Also, another game that I was really impressed with at the Sony press conference was Infamous Second Son. Because I was editing videos, so I didn't get to watch the press conference like totally how I would want to, because I'm editing and trying to watch at the same time. And I started watching the Infamous Second Son showcase trailer mixed with demo maybe, and I wasn't exactly sure that it was Infamous at first. It looks different. I mean, it looks like Infamous. It's just, you have to watch it. It's worth watching. It looks really, really cool. Again, Raymond was giggling for it. There is a game that is one of Dewey's favorites. He's made a ton of videos on it, and it's Destiny, and it was hyped at being shown at the Sony press conference, and we got to see a gameplay demo of it. Now, the thing is, the guy that was playing it was dreadful. I have no other way of putting it. He was annoying. His laugh was annoying. He was shooting the ground, acting like an idiot. But it is our first look at the gameplay of Bungie's next game, Destiny, and it's worth a watch just for that alone. We also got an interview with Square Enix about Final Fantasy Versus 13, and that's not what I'm going to have you watch. It's going to be the Final Fantasy 15 showcase. Final Fantasy Versus 13 is apparently like turning into Final Fantasy 15, and the demo and trailer combined looks amazing. Like, it's Square Enix, and the cinematics, of course, are going to look incredible, but it just all looked really, really flashy, and it was a really appropriate demo for E3. And then the last thing that I really have to talk about, I guess before I get into that, because I'm going to hold off just a second, you need to watch the videos of Sony bashing Microsoft's Xbox One. They're talking about how you share on the PlayStation 4 is you hand a game to someone. They're not going to have an always-on policy. It's freaking funny, and please watch it, because I was laughing hysterically. The last thing, though, and it's the reason why Dewey's still up, because Dewey was dead the entire day. We were all looking forward to it. I was yelling at the top of my lungs. I was actually watching a stream that was ahead of theirs, so I was clapping and yelling hysterically, and they were confused what's going on. It was Kingdom Hearts 3. And for me, I think that was the most beautiful game that I saw the entire day. It looked gorgeous, and it's something that we've been waiting for a long time. For me, it was Mirror's Edge 2. For Dewey, it was Kingdom Hearts 3, and you have to watch it. So, those are the 4 press conferences. We're going to keep up our coverage of E3. We're going to be doing like previews and that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be just trailers. We're going to try to devote, I think, more time to less games. So we're not going to post games that we think that we have no interest in, but we're going to devote more time to things like Destiny, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Mirror's Edge, Battlefront. And that's going to be kind of our strategy going forward. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you watched all the press conferences, I'm curious to know what you thought, what your ranking was. And I will see you guys next time.